Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Lilahsgigi here. I'm so happy to be able to bring you this Sapphire Infinity by ArtisanLoom. Normally she does her own tutorials, but I begged her to let me do this one and she said yes. So if you are not following her, please hop on over to her Instagram account and give her a follow. She has some fabulous designs that she has created. I mean, they are just gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. She also has started making bath bombs, and yeah, they're just, here's some of them. Yeah, she started making some bath bombs on her account, and showing them on her Instagram account. So you'll see a whole bunch of those. And for the Halloween, she's just, oh my gosh, they're just fabulous. She is such an artist. So give her a follow. You'll see all kinds of bath bombs and bracelets on there. Just great lady. Love her to pieces. So I wanted to pop back in here real quick and show you how long this bracelet is. This is 2 loom lengths, and it does not go all the way around my wrist, not even close, which is fine because I use chains and magnetic clasps and sometimes the longer, wider clasps for that. This is 2 full loom lengths, so you may think about going up 3, 2 3/4 or 3. I think I said 2 1/2 or 2 3/4, depending upon how what your wrist size is. Now mine is 6 1/2 inches, and obviously, you know, that did not fit me, but I knew it was not going to fit. The one that she sent that I could not find and still cannot find was exactly this size. So just wanted to pop in and let you know that, so that when you're deciding how large to, you know, how many looms to make your bracelet, at least you'd have a better idea. All right, back to the tutorial. Okay, so we are going to make this Sapphire Infinity. Now I have a small snippet here, not beaded. Let's see. So what I wanted to bring to your attention is that one way the top will be on, the white will be on the top, and then the white will be on the bottom. So as we're laying this, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to put a bead on here. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And sorry for all the ums. I don't know, my brain just doesn't seem to be functioning tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this. It's a 3-pin bar design for those of you who've been waiting for another 3-pin bar. Here is one. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the center. Going to bring, and I'm doing 2 different colors, on one color on one side and one color on the other side. So diagonal out and to the right, and I am going to bead these. So my next one will be straight up. Now the way we're going to do this, I can explain this to you. Whatever band color you're bringing across from the right to the left is going to be the dominant color on the bottom. That's going to be your dominant crossover band. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a bead on it. So instead of taking this up and going, you know, weaving back and forth, we're going to do one side and then we're going to do the other. So since this is going to be the dominant one here first, I'll bring a band from there diagonally to the left. Now I'm going to put a bead, like I said, I'm going to put a bead on here. So what I think I'm going to do is put the bead, it's going to end up on this band right here, so I can just push it to the center. Let's see, is that the one I want, or is this the one I want? As you're looping them up, maybe this one. I will see how it goes. The way my brain's working tonight, I'm not even sure. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a beaded band for my next diagonal, and hopefully it'll turn out right. If not, at least it will be consistent. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to drop back down here, and I'm going to do the blue. So diagonal from the center to the left, and then if you're beading, this is where you would put your beaded band. That's where I'm going to put mine. The next two bands are going to go diagonal to the right. And that will make this dominant one on the bottom, if that makes sense at all. So I'm not going to put a bead on this one. Just diagonal straight across and to the right. Okay, so now, since I'm going from the right, let's see, did I do that correctly? Yes, I did. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, we've created this little area here, this space right here, so we're going to create the same space. So I'm going to take a band, my beaded band, and straight up. Okay, so I want to be consistent with what's on the bottom down here, and since this is going to be my main crossover band, when I flip it over, I'm going to lay my diagonal band there, and then I'm going to put a bead. And like I said, hopefully this will come out okay. I did not bead the little test sample that I did, but I think we're going to be okay. Okay, so now that I have this across, I'm going to drop back down and I'm going to do this silver. So we will have, your next band will go straight up. Yep. Let's last that. There we go. Next band will go straight up. The next two will not be beaded, and they're going to go diagonal to the right. So that's one, and here's the other one. Okay, so since this silver is here, it's going to go across here. That's going to be my dominant one on the bottom. So first thing I want to do though is I want to lay a beaded band straight up. Okay, and now I'm going to take it across to the left, and then again, being consistent down here with no bead, bead, I'm going to have no bead and bead. Okay, you can rewind if you have to. I'm just trying to decide if I need to show you how to do this. I think you're going to be okay as long as you stop. It's kind of like, the infinity symbol. They cross over, so you just want to be careful with that when you're laying it. All right. So now that I have this across here, I'm going to drop down and lay a band straight up, beaded for me, and then I'm going to do the two plain diagonal. Since they are the top bands, they do not need a bead. Okay. From the right here, I'm going to go straight up with a bead, and then since I am going from the right across, that is going to be my dominant color on the bottom, which is the signature side. I'll lay a diagonal band to the left and my beaded diagonal band to the left. Okay, so I think you've got that pretty much. I'll just do this one little section with you again. Now that I have these two over to the right, I'm going to drop down here. I'm going to do the silver. I'm going to take a band straight up with the bead for me, and then two bands diagonal and to the right. And since they're going to be on top of this, they do not have a bead. Okay. All right. So rewind if you have to, but when you get across, when you finish this diagonal here, you'll go straight up, and then to the right, that will be your dominant color. Okay, so do that all the way up to the top of the loom. You'll see your little sections here, and then you can see it swaps over, and the blue is on the right and silver's on the left. Silver's on the right, blue is on the left. Okay, rewind if you have to. Hopefully I have explained that properly, and then we will be back. We have 2 more layers of bands to bead, and that is one up the center. And if you want, we can go ahead and lay that now. The center band, it is going to be pretty loose, so I'm going to go ahead and use my cylindric, and I'm going to just, starting down here, I'm going to lay a band straight up the center. If you choose not to lay this kind of a band, you'll just, when you take it off the loom and you're straightening your bands, you will just need to pull them from the back. take a look at this real quick. You can see how the band, if you pull it, you can see it, but if you let it go, it scrunches, and that's why I'm choosing to use the cylindric. Now you can turn it around and pull those to make it not so tight on the front so that they lay properly. As you can see there, that's laying pretty well. So you don't have to use the cylindrical bands. I just chose to. Okay, and you can use a different color in here. I chose silver for both of these, but I'm going to go ahead and lay white. This band in here is you're going to need a very stretchy band in there. That's why I'm using the metallic. I'll be using the metallic white for that. Okay, so go ahead and finish your border and do your single band straight up, and then I will be back with you for the next step. Okay, so I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid the single bands up the side. So one thing you want to do, just to make sure that you're not that you've laid your bands properly, and I'll show you what it should look like, is you should have beads or straight bands here, here, and here. So that's 2, 4, 6. So a sextagon, I guess. Hex is, I don't even know. I forget. I think I failed that class. Anyway, whatever your shape is, you need to make sure that you've got the 2 bands on the side. And this is what it should look like. Okay? I believe I double checked all mine, and I think that we are good to go there. And you'll see I have the 6 these little connectors here. I guess the last thing I did, I still had everything on here and I didn't feel like taking everything apart, so I just took the bars that were on the other sides off. Okay, so for this part you want to use a good quality stretchy band, and I'm using the metallics because I think they'll be okay. And these are all going to be long stretches. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do down here, you're going to make a long diagonal stretch to the left. Okay, you're going to drop down. Let me push that down some. Make another long diagonal stretch to the right. And it might get caught on this pin, but just push it out of the way. That way they're laying properly. Okay. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to drop down, and we're going to make like a long stretch X. So on the left-hand side, second pin up, you'll do a long stretch to the center, and then over on the right-hand side, you'll do a long stretch to the center. Okay, so we're going to continue this, and it will look like an X. Okay, so 4 pins up from the center pin. You will go from the center, long stretch to the left, and then you'll do a long stretch to the right. Okay, and where the center of this is, you're going to put a cap band there. I think I'm just going to do a double on here for now. I think a double will be fine. I just don't want it too thick. Okay, so then we're from that, it looks like a long, let me get a little bit further away, that's closer, there we go, further away. You can see it kind of looks like a long stretch X. Okay, we're going to repeat that. So what that means is we're going to, let's see here, did I do that correctly? I believe I did. So this is in essence this little V down here. Okay, so what we're going to do is where you just stopped over here on the left hand side, you're going to drop down 1. So that is 3, 4, that is 5 pins up on the left hand side. You'll do a long stretch to the center. Up, down, you have a long stretch to the center, from the right hand side to the center. Okay, and then we will do, make sure that's correct. Hold on, I will Let me just look at this real quickly. I thought I had this all down because all of it's going to be within this section right here. Okay, so let me get in here, and yes, I am correct. So 3, 6, 7 pins up in the center, long stretch to the left, a long stretch to the right. Okay, then you're going to drop down right here. You'll do a long stretch to the center, and then on the right hand side, a long stretch to the center. Okay, so in essence, if you look at, oh, I wasn't even on, I'm so sorry. So if you look at your section here, what you're going to have is a V, and then if you go up one pin, you'll have an upside down V. So let me do that one more time, making sure that I'm on camera this time. Okay, so this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pins up. So where these cross over, your bands here cross over, you'll start there, long diagonal to the left, long diagonal to the right, okay, drop down, long diagonal to the center, and a dropping down on this side, long diagonal to the center. So that's what that will look like. Okay, and that is within this little pattern here that we laid for the border. So you'll have an a regular long stretch V, and you'll go up and you'll have a upside down V. So go ahead and finish that up for me, and when you're done, come back, flip it around, and we will loom it up. All right, be right back. Okay, so I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid this regular V, and then I laid the upside down V. I put a cap band on here, and I told you to put cap bands on, but I think I forgot to mention, as we were going through, that you'll need to put a cap band right here where your border crosses. Every place where your border crosses, like here, and then here, and here. So if you haven't done that already, go ahead and pause me and put those cap bands in. All right, and then we are going to loom this little guy up. All right, so I'm going to flip this around. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, and I have that cap band on here. I know when I first did the other one, I'm not sure about this single band right here that runs up the center, because it kind of ends up hanging out, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is reach into the cap band, and you're going to pull that top band, which should be the diagonal that goes up and to the left, okay, straight up. Going to go back in there, and these all get loomed back to themselves. Going to grab the next one and loop it straight up. All right. Now, as you can see here, what I'm saying, when I lift this up, this single band, it's going to kind of just like hang out there. So I'm going to leave that for now and then decide what to do with it later. I just wanted you to see that it just kind of hangs out there. But we'll figure that out. Okay. All right. So loop those up. Go up to where your cap band is. Take the top band, and you're going to loop it back to itself. I don't want that. I only did a double cap band there because one of the reasons why I did that is because these are pretty long stretches, and I didn't want anything to break, so I thought maybe a double would be okay. So bring that down. All right. Going to go up to the next section. Going to start down here. Going to reach in and grab the top band, loop it back to itself, being careful not to break anything. Grab the next top band with diagonal to the right, bring it back, go up to where this upside down V is, going through the cap band, bring that top band, I don't want to lose that cap band, down. Next top band goes down. Okay. So So that's what that section should look like. And you'll go up the next pin, reach in, grab the top band, loop it back to itself. Sorry for my hands. Go into that same pin, grab that one, bring it back to itself. Get out of the way. There you go. Go straight up. Grab that band that goes diagonal up to the center and loop it back. Go down and grab the next one and loop it back. So do that all the way up to the end of your loom. You'll start here next where your regular V is and loop everything back, and then I will, well, I'll tell you what, once you do that, finish that all the way up to the end, I'm going to go ahead in here and loop up the single chains. Okay, and that just looks a little off, but it's okay. So I'm going to go in and loop up all the single chains straight up. All right, so easy peasy. All right, so go ahead and do this part first where you bring these down and then up. So it will look like this. And then do your single chains. And then I will be back with you and we'll be looping up the border. Alrighty, see you back soon. Okay, so I am back, and one thing I forgot to tell you was that on the top up here, you will need a cap band because we're going to be bringing these bands back to themselves, and I completely forgot to have you put a cap band up there. But hopefully you realized that, and if not, you're knowing it now. Okay, so I brought those down, and then I brought the single chains back up. All right, so to decide which to loop up first, you know, you would think that it would be this side here. Now, let's see here. I think we can go ahead and do that because it is on top, and we do want to get what's on top. So go in, loop the one to the right back to itself. Go into the cap band and loop the one, I'm trying to keep things a little straight here, back to itself. Okay, well, that has turned out way crooked. All right, so I'm looking at this, and now that we've done that, we're going to actually do the left-hand side because that is on the top. Okay, so we're going to start on the left-hand side. Whoops, I almost missed something really bad there. Would have been bad. My bracelet would have fallen apart. All right, so want to grab the one that goes straight up and loop it back to itself. Go in, grab your diagonal that goes to the right. These are going to be crooked. And loop it back. Go in, grab the one that's on top, which should be the one that's going over to the right, and loop. Oh my goodness. Hopefully these bands I chose aren't too small, too thin. That looks awful thin in there. Oh, well, I think we'll be okay. All right. So now that we've done that, what we want to do is you want to drop back down here. Now we're going to loop up this other side. Okay? Drop down, grab, well, I got to go through everything to get that bottom one. There it is. It was hiding on me. Straight up. Go in, diagonal to the left, and I did not push my bands down. Bad of me. To the left. Go in, grab the bottom band, diagonal to the left. Okay. Go in straight up and bring it back to itself. Okay. Silver is on the top, so we can go ahead and finish that up to the right. So diagonal to the right, into the center, and grabbing it, diagonal to the right. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to drop back down and do the right hand side now. So the last thing we did here was we did these diagonals here. So we're going to go in here, grab that bottom band, which in my case is blue, bring it straight up, and then do the two diagonals to the left. It's a little bit different because we want to make sure that, oh, and again I didn't push any bands down. We want to make sure that that bottom band gets looped up properly, and that, oh goodness, let me pull with my fingers. There we go. Yeah, so hopefully I'm making sense here. All right, so again, we can go up and we'll stop right here. All right, so reach in, grab the band that goes straight up, loop it back to itself, same pin, diagonal to the right, and diagonal to the right. Oops, don't want to grab that one. Okay. Once you do to the right there, you're going to drop down, and it will be this band right here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to start over here, you're going to loop it up until you get up to the right hand side. Once you get on the right hand side, you're going to stop, come down, and then loop up to the left. All right, so let's go down here. That is, let's see, right here. If you turn it sideways, you'll be able to see where it is, because we stopped right here. All right, so we're going to loop that up. Go in, follow it around, just like you would a normal border. Going to go to the left. Again, I didn't push any bands down. Go in to the left. Oh, come on. There we go. You're going to go straight up and then to the right twice. And then stop. Go straight up, to the right twice. 1 and 2. And you'll stop there, and then you will drop down and finish this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish mine. You can rewind if you want. So what you do is you start over here, you go straight up, you do your diagonal, go straight up, and then do your diagonal, and then stop and drop down and do the exact same thing. All right, rewind if you have to. Hopefully all that makes sense to you. All right, and I will be back when I finish mine, and we will take it off the loom together and see what we've got. Okay, so I am back, and I looped, let's see, I'm trying to remember which last one that I did. Okay, so I came up here to the right, and then I went straight up in here. And this part didn't matter, you know, if I went up this first or that side first. As long as I got where it crosses over here done properly, that's all that really matters. So I'm going to grab the closure band that I had you lay. If you did not lay one, that's fine. Just go ahead and pull one through and make sure everything is caught. And I'm going to use my handy dandy big fat plastic safety pin. Okay, because C-clips don't always get along with me, and I'd rather not struggle. All right, so this is what your loom should look like. All right, so we're going to take this off together. It's not going to take that long to get off, I don't believe. So I'm just going to go ahead and take everything off. Normally I'm super careful. I'll go ahead and take the right little sections off. And I'll do the same thing on the left-hand side. Okay, hopefully I did not miss anything. But it's a pretty easy bracelet to do, so I think I think you'll be all right. If I had to redo it, it wouldn't be a big deal. Unlike if you're doing a 5 or 6 pin bar bracelet, you know, and it falls apart, it doesn't make you very happy. So let's get these guys off of here, and then I'll do the center. Okay. Alrighty, let's start at the center here and just pull this up. Oops, in my way. And it's a small bracelet. It's you know, it's not very wide. It's kind of like a skinny, but it's a fancy skinny. I mean, look at that. It looks like a rose, doesn't it? So cute. All right, well, hopefully we'll see if my beading was any good. Hopefully I laid that properly. you know, sometimes you never know. I mean, you think you know what you're doing, and then you go like, whoa, why did I do that? Or, you know, it didn't turn out anything like I thought. So, all right. So, I knew this was going to be a small bracelet. But look at how cute this is. Oh my gosh, now it looks like roses. Trish, are you sure you want me to straighten those center bands? It looks so cute. Oh my goodness. All right, so the thing to do is just stretch it out. Yeah. Oh my goodness, so cute. And I'll fix my beads. And then I'll probably go off and then come back to fix those. But isn't that cute? So cute. Let's get a little bit closer up so we can see it. Get my hands out of the way. And I will straighten my beads and come back with pictures. Yeah, so cute. And I'm glad I used these in the center. And you can see they're still kind of tight in there. But if you go in and you pull them, you know, all of them, including the one that's under here, it should straighten them out pretty well. Let's see. Well, I have a feeling I'm going to have to go to the back to do that. You can see it's just sort of underneath. So what I'll do is I'll pull them from the back, and might make them a little bit looser in the back, but that's okay. I don't want them loose in the front. Let's pull this one and see what happens. We'll flip it around and see what happened. Yes, there you go. Oops, if I keep it on camera. Looks very nice. Very sharp. Oh my goodness. And I'll just straighten. There we go. This is what it's supposed. Keep going off camera. Goodness. This is what it's supposed to look like, the center there. All right. So I'm going to straighten my bands and straighten my beads, and then I'll be back with pictures. Thank you so very, very much for watching the tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you'd like, but more than that, for me, if you would subscribe, that way you can see future tutorials. Okay, but you can see how the blue's on top, and then the silver's on top, then the blue's on top, then the silver is on top. Once I straighten those out, you'll be able to see it a lot better. Alrighty. Thank you so very much for watching. I don't know if I may have failed to mention this, but ArtisanLoom also has a YouTube channel. So hop on over there and look at her tutorials. Awesome job. She's just a wonderful lady. I just love her to pieces. All right. So thank you so very much for watching. And as always, be kind.